Okay, hello YouTube. I'm back again with my part 3 of my retro review series I have right now. This is music and radio, so all things dealing with music and how to listen to music, and then also CB radio. I actually have a sort of surprise object that I couldn't easily move into here just to show in the beginning, like these two things. Um, but it'll be a surprise later on in the video, kind of. Anyways, the as a brief overview, on the left side we have a PA speaker and CB radio, and then on the right I have a lot of my cassette tapes that I have. Now most of them are handed down from my dad, and I got a few from a thrift store and a friend that my mom knows. But yeah, let's get on with it. Okay, first up we have this 1977 or 78 CB radio. Probably 78, I guess, because these got really popular after the famous Burt Reynolds film Smokey and the Bandit that came out in the 70s, late 70s. And the idea was, before the movie came out, the idea, these are actually served a practical use as for truckers to talk back and forth to each other. So like if there's a wreck up ahead, or if there's a detour up ahead or something, then a truck driver could push this button down and radio to somebody on up the road a little bit. But after Smoking the Bandit, everybody got these, even in their cars. So you'd go on like family vacations and just talk to anybody. Um, Kind of like a walkie-talkie almost, except you can basically talk to anybody. A really popular thing was that people would get handle names, which would be kind of like their nickname for the CB radio. I know my dad's at one point was Little Dipper, and then First Mate. He changed when he got a little bit older. Um, but yeah, this is my mom's CB radio. It's a Channel Master Phase 40, and it's got a Cobra receiver, or no, a microphone, whatever you want, I don't know what you call this thing. Um, but this should still work. I don't exactly know if it does or not, but it should. Um, it's actually in pretty good shape. I cleaned it up yesterday, and it actually got pretty clean. Um, but I actually have a commercial for, not this CB radio. I couldn't find a commercial for this CB radio, but I do actually have a commercial for a CB radio, and I'll play that right now.
Radio Shack has the hottest thing on wheels today, realistic two-way CB radio. We introduced our realistic CB line way back in 1960, and today we have 16 low-priced mobile and walkie-talkie models to choose from. Radio Shack also makes its own CB antennas, crystals, coax cables, and accessories. Equip your car, truck, or boat today with a realistic CB radio. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
Yeah, so I don't know where this one came from. Like in most of these videos, they probably came from Radio Shack, or I guess you could order them somewhere from, so I don't know where. But anyways, yeah, this is pretty cool to have and to look at. I'll give you kind of an overview of it. Up front, we have this plug-in for this little receiver thing. A plug-in. Then we have a knob that says CB PA volume, squelch. This is like, I think, the different channels. Yeah, different channels. Then you had PA or CB. Then you have A and L. I don't know what that means. Then you have, you can tune it in. One thing pretty cool is that you could either have it used function as a CB radio or as a PA. So you can mount a PA speaker like this one on top of your car somewhere, or on your car somewhere, and you can like talk to just anybody. Like, you know, you can say anything. You on the motorcycle. So they have. By the way, I don't know what brand this is, and this didn't come with the CB radio, I don't think. It says it's MP SP 1009 10 watt max 4 ohms. But I don't exactly know what brand this is. Maybe that's just MP. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it looks like there's a switch for it, and CB, like the CB right there. Just a little bit of trivia. CB stands for Citizens Band. That's what CB stands for. PA. Not really too sure what that stands for. PA, public, I don't know. And then, but let's see. If you flip it over, There's nothing really, just some vents and things. And then on the very back is some more writing and place to plug in cords and things like that. So there's a serial number right there. Different, made in Japan. But pretty cool to have. Um, Someday, if I get this to working, I'll make sure to do a video and update everybody. But I did actually get this to work. But I guess on to the next product. Okay, next up I have is my collection, or at least some of it, of my cassette tapes. Now this is not all my cassette tapes I have. I have some more in the garage and whatnot. But my car is a 1995 and a half Isuzu Rodeo, and it has a cassette player, and that's all I listen to. It doesn't have a CD player or nothing, which is fine with me. But let me open up some of these so you can kind of see. This is actually my case right here. Well, the case itself. The tapes are mainly my dad's and my mom's. But I actually got this case to kind of help hold some stuff together, sort of organized somewhat. And you know, you got all kinds of stuff here. You got, you know, Rick Astley, Uriah Heep, Johnny Cash, John Denver, Van Halen. What's this right here? This here is a Pieces of 8 album, Styx Pieces of 8. Then actually this case and that case over there actually could lock up. I guess if you were so protective of your cassette tapes, the keys came in this little pouch right here. Now, ironically, the keys are not in this pouch. I don't know where they are. They're probably in my car somewhere, spilled out on the floorboard. I don't know where it is. But honestly, who's going to steal a cassette tape? But yeah, that's this case. Let me move this out of the way and pull this one up. Most of these are my dad's and my mom's. I actually have bought a few of them at different thrift stores and trade days and things in the past. But yeah, here's this one, the Georgia Satellites. If you see your favorite band, then let me know in the comments down below. Then I have, you know, Blue Oyster Cult. I think that's, what is this called? Blue Oyster Cult, Some Enchanted Evening. That's a live album right there. That's one of their live albums. Then I have Back to the 50s, a bunch of 50s music. Then I have The Eagles, Survivor, Captain and Tennille, Super 70 Hits Volume 2, Hall & Oates. I have several Hall & Oates albums. Jimmy Buffett. In my car right now, I have all my Huey Lewis and the News tapes in there. So you'll see those in a minute. I'll do a demonstration of how my cassette tape player works in there. Then I found this at a thrift store, and it's called 60 Greatest Hits of the 60s. And it's kind of like a book. You can flip it over and it shows a list of different songs that's on there. It's too many to go over right now. But if I open it up, you got all these cassette tapes, front and back. You have music from the Monkees, the Byrds. You have music from, I think there's a song on one of these tapes by Roy Orbison, I think. And then we have, looks like on the back of some of these, you can take one out. The back of these is from, some of these songs are from, well, another Monkees song. And then James and Bobby Purify. Just a bunch of just music from the 60s, everything. Okay, and then I actually have a few of these tapes in my car. I got a lot of these out so I can show on video. But this bag of tapes right here, I was actually given these a few weeks ago by one of my mom's friends that she knows, who she kind of works with sometimes. Her name is Nancy Lowengood, and she gave me a bunch of cassette tapes because she had no use for them. And it's like Michael McDonald, Heart, a bunch of things. I got a Bruce Springsteen cassette tape in the car. I listened to that quite a bit. It's the Born in the USA album. But yeah, thank you, Nancy. Thank you. I get a lot of use out of these. Yeah, her name is Nancy Lowengood, and really appreciate it. Let's see, what else is this? There's another Hall & Oates album. Let's see. I know there's a Cher album in here somewhere. Dan Fogelberg, Greatest Hits. Then there's Bob Seger, Bryan Adams. These tapes are actually in here. Here they are, the tapes. You know, they're actually really good condition too. Actually, there's the actual tape. It's actually looks like this tape here is well, actually, this side would have been rewound the whole way, and that's why it's pink down there. So it's like just now starting. The reel is just now starting. A big debate is if people like digital music compared to like tape music like this. Like digital music would be CDs, or like if you download something from YouTube or something like that, that's digital. Then these are like, well, I guess analog. I guess it's kind of like clocks. You have digital and analog clocks, but yeah, like this. I honestly can't tell the difference. Some people can. I just like cassette tapes because of the retro feel to it. It's just kind of cool to have those in your car. I will now. I actually did find a commercial for some cassette tape. It's called the brand is Maxwell. It's not any kind of band, but a very famous commercial from the 80s, from 83 actually. So I'll play that right now.
The usual, sir.
Please.
Even after 500 plays, our high-fidelity tape still delivers high fidelity. Cassette, it's worth it.
Yeah, so that actually wasn't a band, really. I mean, that wasn't Maxwell is not a brand; it's a company. But a lot of bands started releasing music on tape, like through those brands. I think let's see, there was Maxwell. There was I think Fiji or Fuji, one of those. I don't know how to say it. Then there was for a while RCA had a couple of them, I think. But you'd buy at the time back in the 80s and I guess late 70s, you'd buy cassette tapes at there's a store in the Gadsden Mall called the Record Bar. There was a I think in the Sears catalog you could buy some just all kinds of places. Nowadays you can find it at thrift stores for like a quarter or something like that, even that much. I will now flash to a demonstration in my car. I cannot play very much of the music on camera because of copyright issues, so you'll only be able to hear like a snippet at most. Okay, so here we are again. We're back inside. Like I say, I can't play too much of the music because of copyright. But here's this: it's a Sears solid state AM FM stereo 8-track system. So without further ado,
Put on your Sunday best, kids. We're going to Sears.
okay, yeah, this came out in 76, I think, somewhere around there, and it has an AM FM radio, an FM MPX. It has an 8-track tape player and a record player, like phono. Now this knob right here has kind of seen a lot of wear and tear through the years, so it doesn't exactly want to work too well. But I will show you. This 8-track of Elvis's Volume 1. Greatest hits, I guess. Elvis Volume 1 is what it says. And it plays. I'm actually surprised it does. So listen to this. So I'll turn this over to tape. I cut it off first. And turn it over to tape. There's tape. And that's actually just now the radio you heard playing. See this 4 is lit up right here? This 4? Well, that's the 4th track. That's what's left on. So run the volume down, stick this in here. There we go. We got the first track. Okay, like I said, because of copyright, I can't play too much of this, but listen to this. See, it played. Track 2, that plays. Track 3, track 4, they all play. It's pretty cool. One thing that's pretty funny to hear is if I do this and run the volume up, listen to how this sounds. Speeds up. But that's the 8-track player, and I know this Waylon Jennings tape plays as well as several other tapes that we have. We have, let me show you here. We have Jerry Lee Lewis, Slim Whitman, Dolly Parton, Oak Ridge Boys, Hank Williams Jr., and Dolly Parton as well, again. And then, whoops. Wait, what's wrong here? Oh, we got something down there. Then we have some other tapes over there. I'm sure most of those work too. I haven't tried too many of those. But we got, you know, Johnny Cash, Kenny Rogers, George Jones, Tom T. Hall, Johnny Hortons, a bunch of stuff. Now, let me turn this to phono. So, there we go. There's phono. Run this down. Right now we have Fleetwood Mac on. So let me start this. The automatic doesn't exactly want to work too well. The needle moves, but it doesn't want to like hit on the right place. So let me just kind of manually do this right now. Move the needle over a little bit. Let's see. Once again, I can't play too much of this because of copyright, but here's this, and see, that plays. I'll do it again. Yeah. One thing kind of funny is that, like, so you have different sizes of records that came out. You have 45s, 33s, you have 78s, all kinds of sizes. Well, this is a 33, and it's set on 33, so it spins the right speed. If I set this to, let's say, a 78, it spins a lot faster, so listen to this. It's really high-pitched and fast. Now, I suppose the same would be true if you had a 78 and you set it to a 33 speed, it'd be really slow. One thing kind of funny is if I do this and I hit stop, it's because it's slowing down to stop. But yeah, I do have a commercial for this. The commercial, I think, is from '79 or somewhere late '70s. This thing came out, like I said, '76, so the commercial is going to be a little different, but it's still the same idea and relatively the same kind of machine. So I'll play that right now.
More super values from Sears. You could buy either one of these Sears compact stereos because each is on sale for just $149.95. Or you could buy one because it's got an AM/FM receiver, a cassette or 8-track player recorder, a record changer, and 2 speakers. But the best reason...
Merry Christmas, Kathy.
Sears, where America shops for value.
Okay, yeah. And so the records that we have at the moment are Elton John's Greatest Hits, The Eagles. There's a funny story about that one. We have, hang on, let me move these two vinyls out of the way. There's the Elton John album. There's a Fleetwood Mac case, Sonny and Cher, and then we have Michael Jackson Thriller. These are all originals from when they came out. I know vinyls and record players have kind of gotten back popular again, but no, these are like the originals. Anyway, so the story about the Eagles Hotel California, so we actually got these from a yard sale, these records here. And the person didn't put the Eagles tape back in its regular case. Instead, we got a Jethro Tull album, Aqualung. So it's just a bunch of their music. And they all play, they're kind of dirty. Some of them are kind of dirty, as you can see the edge of the Fleetwood Mac record or vinyl. But I've been trying to get them cleaned up. And I've had some success so far, but yeah, it's pretty cool to have. This thing right here is like an inverter, so like some records had a bigger, like, let me just take this off here. So some records had a bigger center hole, And so what you would do is that if you had one of those that had a bigger center hole, you would slip this on. Well, hang on now. It's sometimes easier said than done. Let me figure this out here. There we go. So you slip it on like that, and now you could slip like a record with a bigger hole on it and so play that, which would be like a 45 or 78. Probably a 45, I guess. I don't know. I don't know my records too well. But yeah, it's pretty cool to have this. I will demonstrate one thing. Hang on, I'll do this. So if you, let's say you set a record on like this. Move this arm over. Like that. Now you can do this. This is pretty cool here. If you set this to automatic, watch this. What's supposed to happen is the needle moves over onto the actual record, but it doesn't want to do that right now. It's probably just like some gunk or something, some dust or whatever up in there. But yeah, hopefully I'll get that fixed too. Hopefully I'll get that working. Stop this and cut this off. But yeah, I guess I'll see you at the final lineup, and we'll do an outro from there. Okay, here we are back at the final lineup. I just brought an 8-track and a record sleeve out here just to kind of have like as placeholders to show for the Sears record player and everything in the kitchen. But yeah, so the only thing that I don't know if it works is the CB radio and PA speaker system. Well, of course, the PA speaker didn't come with a CB radio, but that came out. That was my mom's CB radio. It came out in I think 78 or whatever. It makes sense because Smoking the Bandit came out in 77. And then we have my cassette tapes on the right. Those got really popular. I think they came out like in I think the first one came out in the late 60s. It was just a kind of experiment, but they got really popular in the late 70s and 80s. And then up front we have an Elvis 8-track which plays, and then a original vinyl sleeve, or I guess cover, of the Hotel California album. That came from a yard sale, the Eagles record sleeve. The Elvis 8-track was my granddad's. Then, like I said, the PA system, I don't know who the PA speaker belonged to, but the CB radio belonged to my mom. And then most of the cassette tapes belong to my parents, my mom and dad. I've gotten a few through the years, or well, this past couple of years that I've had the car. And then the bag on top came from, like I said, Nancy Lowengood, and I appreciate her giving those to me. I put those to a lot of use. Listened to a lot of them. That'll do it for today's retro review. So take it away, Hayden. Have a great day. Be seeing you.